What's going on, guys? It's Diane back with another video. In this video I'm going to talk about reality and real life versus online and social media, things of that nature. I was listening to Andy Frisella's talk on his Spotify podcast, and he's talked about how most people do not want virtual reality. If you don't know what that is, you put the goggles on, whatever, all this online stuff. And you're saying how most people don't want that. I would agree with him. He's also 50, it's like 40 years old, so he's a little bit old school. So he has those old school traditions of how online can just take over, or online is taking over right now. And like the businesses that are small business per se are, aren't as, can't profit as much as the big businesses can. But I'm just comparing right now online and real life in just terms of everything, in terms of business, in terms of social interactions, in terms of like those are the two main ones. So, and yeah, because health, wealth, love, happiness. Now, for instance, health, I mean, you have to go to the gym. You have to actually physically, you can't do anything virtual. But like business wise, you can make money online, or relationships, you can talk to people online, stuff like that. So like your health is the only thing that you can actually do, the only thing that you need to actually be in real life for, and not online per se, like business or talking to people relationships wise. So which is actually, I never actually thought of it that way, but it's true, because like you can't watch videos online of working out. You actually have to work out yourself. So comparing all of these online to social media to real life, like now, for instance, like a labor job, you actually have to be there in person as opposed to online. But there's a lot of people that are moving online now and making money online. Now, if we talk about talking to people, for instance, it is 100% better to talk to someone in real life than it is to talk to them online, FaceTime, Skype, Zoom, all those services that provide you to talk to someone online. Is so much better to talk to them in person. That's why it's more like reality. 50 Cent in his book with Robert Greene, he has a quote in there. He says something about reality, like reality will hit you every time, like it doesn't matter what. And like, so online can kind of protect you. You have those like internet warriors who comment stuff like that protects you, as opposed to in person. It's physical, it's real life, it's real, it's something that's, you can touch it. It's like, as opposed to online, you can't touch anything. It's just you listening, you using your hearing. I just finished Unlimited Power by Tony Robbins, and the five senses: see, touch, hear, taste, and smell. Those five senses, like, of how they basically are like the rooting of what we see, what we hear. Like the big three are what we see, what we hear, and what we feel. So those, when we use those, we use those on people. Like, okay, this person looks this way, so you judge them. And people don't like first impressions. Why are you making that impression? But it's true. Everyone has a first impression on everyone they meet, whether it be good or bad. It can be good, it can be bad, whatever it is. And that's the thing, like with social media as well. Like Instagram, for example, someone can look completely different on Instagram than they do in real life. And obviously I'm not against social media at all. Like, that's why I'm on here right now. This is a platform that's like social media. But I'm just saying, like, real life is 100% better for meeting people, for talking to people. Obviously, social media can have some great advantages as well, but it can also be very, very distracting. I notice a lot of older people don't have social media and they just kind of live their life. But a lot of younger people now are making money off social media because they know it's an avenue that they can get their money from. I mean, it all depends. At the end of the day, it all depends on what you want to do with your life. Like, I always bring it back to this, the good life. Whatever you want to do with your life. If you want to go online, if you want to do stuff in person, like, and I would say the people in person definitely have. Andy Frisella talks about this. The people in person are a lot more approachable, and they have way better communication skills than the people who are online and don't talk to anyone, and just like, they have way better communication skills than someone who's online who doesn't talk to anyone. I talked about this in the last video about like being a hermit and stuff. Like, you actually need to talk to people. You can't not talk to anyone, because as human beings, we need social interaction. We need to talk to people. So it's important in real life to talk to people. Obviously, I can't predict the future. You can't predict the future. We don't know what's going to happen in later years. I'm just saying, for right now, in real life, I would 100% prefer real life over social media, because sometimes it can be fake and it's not real. Like I said, it's not real. Like, usually I just want the real thing. I want something that's natural, something, natural foods, for example. Oatmeal, it's natural, it comes from the ground. Eggs from chicken, I mean, it grows from the ground. Beans, rice grows from the ground, like stuff like that. It's just natural. Unlike these processed foods that go through this stuff, fried, fries, anything that's fried, fast food, stuff like that. Tai Lopez talks about this, how I'll always bring this back. Tai Lopez talks about a business like McDonald's. It's like, okay, you're providing a service or product, McDonald's, but you're also putting tons of people in risk for diseases, and like for this poisonous food that you're giving them. You're basically giving people poison. That's like what you're eating. Like, they provide product or service, okay, cool. Ray Kroc, owner of McDonald's, okay, cool. But you're also putting a ton of people in risk of obesity, death, heart disease, stuff like that, which is obviously not what anyone wants. No one wants to be fat. And I listen to Tai Lopez a lot. I actually just got done listening to him, and he talks about how being aware of just what you're doing, like, he talks about on like a laptop of, do you know what all the F1 to F9 keys do? He's very curious, just like I am, and that's a very good skill to have. He says, if you want to be wealthy, successful, learn as much as you can. And I'm always curious. I'm always wondering why things are that way. And it's strange, though, because I always wonder, like, okay, why are things that way? No one else is that way. And that's why I want to encourage you to be like that, to be curious, to be wondering what's happening, because the people, like, everyone else around me, for say, isn't curious, they don't want to know anything, and they're just being ignorant. I want to know. And also, you could say it could be arrogance of knowing. You could say that I would be arrogant for wanting to know everything, but I just want to improve, want to grow. Like I said, this is the channel about, improving, wanting to grow, wanting to prosper, wanting to know information, because as Warren Buffett says, the more you learn, the more you earn. And Tai Lopez quotes that a lot. And he says that Tai Lopez has so much information. He has like his top 100 book list on his website, and it's just, he says that you're stupid if you just learn from experience, like, rather than learning from books, which provide you more, which you can learn from other people's mistakes easier. Obviously, you need the experience to actually make things happen, but learning from other people's mistakes is what's gonna take you further. So, I mean, you can do both. That's why I say you don't want just experience. You don't want just reading books. You want to have both. You want to have both experience and reading / studying. So you get both of them in, and that way your mind expands. You grow your mind. If you stop using your mind, it'll die out. I just was reading a book, like, it's basically what you're putting in your mouth, what you're putting in your ears, what you're hearing. Like, everything you consume is like it's coming back at you, whether it be good or bad. It's either going to be good information that you're getting, or it's going to be bad information that you're getting. And that's why I come back to social media. You can have really, really good information on social media. This is why I recommend you don't follow people who are not positive, because we want to have positive. We don't want to see negative things. As humans, we don't want anything negative. We want everything to be positive. So following people that inspire you, that motivate you, that's positive, that's what you want to do, because that'll create in your mind positive thoughts and positive thinking, which is all what we want, instead of these negative thoughts, negative feelings that nobody wants. So there can be ups and downs to real life and social media. And this has been going on for a while. Like, there is ups and downs to social media and online. Like, there's a lot of ups, there's a lot of downs. There can be good, there can be bad. And that's probably a good thing, because you don't want everything to go online, but you don't want everything to be in person. Like, we want to have like a little bit of balance of both, and that's kind of the way it is right now. Like, some people, are all online, and then some people, as for mainly like the older people, I would say, are basically all in person. Labor jobs, things like that, are all in person. So there's no online. They don't even have any social media accounts, which is also a good thing, because you want to experience life. You don't want to live your life on your phone. You also want to experience life, and this is why it's important to not just look around, pay attention to details, when just instead of going on your phone scrolling through social media, just pay attention, look around, see what type of plant is that, what type of flowers are these. Like, Tai Lopez was talking about that on to talk about a tree, what type of tree is this. Just be curious. Like I said before, be curious, be open to knowing more information, because the more you learn, more you earn, as Warren Buffett says. And you might say, oh, you don't need to know what kind of tree that is. It's that's just ignorance. Like I said again, it's people will say, oh, you don't need to know what type of tree that is. That is ignorance. That is straight ignorance. You want to know as much as you can, and you want to strive to become better, strive to become more. That's the video for today. Like the video, comment, subscribe, turn your post notifications on, and we'll see you in the next one.